words. In the top left, as the red Zerg, it is Acer's Bly.
And his opponent in the bottom left, as the teal Protoss player who was in Team Echo, it's Probe.
Well, hopefully we'll have a much better start to this game than last, but it's Laralac, so even if the Lings don't get into his main phase, Bly's gonna do something Bly. Okay, he's gonna like drop into the main with an Overlord full of Lings, he's gonna Ling all in the natural, it's gonna be messy. It can't be. It can't not be, it's Bly.
So I'm doing the math in my head right now, and if game number 1 was, it was Prion Terraces, the gold expansion map that a lot of Protoss players struggle with, and now game number 4 is Laralac Crest, another map that a lot of Protoss players struggle with. Probe chose one of these maps over Orbital Shipyard.
Right?
So, I feel like, okay, game number 1, it was a really weird map, so maybe he had something special planned for Prion Terraces, or maybe he has something special planned for Laralac Crest. I'm hoping that's Laralac Crest, because clearly it didn't work out very well for Prion Terraces.
Yeah, that's for sure. Probe, pinging the map, as considerate as Scarlet was, to showcase to the casters. Look here. Look, it's cement. It's beautiful. Oh no, just a mistake. I like Pentarp's description of you. Fear Dragon, such caster, can do some words.
You know, for those who are wondering, as a lot of people do know, the DreamHack community streams oftentimes end up starting at approximately, for me, 1:30, not including the precast prep. So I guess close to 1. I've been up since 12:30 a.m. on about 4 hours of sleep. So I'm starting to hit that tired mark, you could say.
6 Lings, I don't think will be the start of an all-in. Yeah, there's the drones, just because I think you do want to wait for that Ling speed. But I will definitely be paying attention to the larva as the Ling speed gets closer to finishing. He could take a third base. Probe gets got a third base. Doesn't mean he has to saturate it. Tricky.
Oh, there's all kinds of fun, tricky stuff that happens over there. But Bly sends the drone out. Probe is going to see that. The probe from Probe is going to see that, I should say, to be extra clever. Third expansion likely going to go down, unless Bly is about to ultra mind game us, but I don't expect it, yeah. Well, Twilight Council coming out from Probe once again. He really wants to make this work.
Yeah, hopefully we won't want the Ling's Pie to see it. Maybe it won't be Dark Shrine this time. Maybe he'll go right into Resident Glaze or something. Oh, there's a larva. Oh, come on. Oh, no, there's more drones.
Okay. Yeah,
but there's an Evo Chamber. Overlord drops.
Oh, Zerglin drop. Or sorry, yeah, Overlord drops. I was gonna say I'd love to see Blink on this map from Probe, just because this map can be really nice to jump between the third base, the main base, then jump back to the natural expansion, and just jump all over the place. But Zerglin is gonna be moving around. We'll see what they can manage to do as Evolution Chamber, as you said, starts to finish up.
There's that Overlord. It's not being spotted by anything right now. Bly has not showcased Overlord drops in this best of yet, and sometimes you can just straight up forget that it's an option. It used to be what every Zerg was doing all the time when it was the new shiny toy, and now it's just a once in a blue moon, so you just forget. Simple as that.
Well, he's making more Zerglings, so this is starting to look to me, yeah, we got the Overlord turning into the Overlord drop, and he's going to be dropping those guys almost immediately, and that's going to be one nice way to scout out this Adept Resonating Glaze upgrade going up.
Yeah, whenever it's going to turn into an all-in, of course that Robo, potentially for advanced tech, but also, you know, that Warp Prism, right? Alright.
Oh, imagine if these Zerglings come in a little bit later. If he keeps that Overlord alive, he can even snipe off maybe the pylon powering the Resonating Glaze right as Probe tries to move out or something. That could be really devastating, but, Adept's not moving out just quite yet.
He could get Morlings in the main base, but now he's just risking, you know, time. I don't know, it's going to be easier to warp in. So he goes in now, gets 3 probes right off the bat. 4. And he's trying to go to the natural again, too. Motion Core's there, but is Probe paying attention? A little late.
Well, Probe throws down the Photon Overcharge. Sentries, I think I actually got to be a bit careful. That is a decent number of Zerglings that could kill off one of those sentries, but...
Oh, come back to mommy.
Overlord, run!
Can tickle to death, but it is dying.
Yeah, eventually, it's a valuable overlord. It holds a total of 7 lives in its hands. But I mean, the overlord drop I still feel like has been relatively effective. Even with the investment in Zorglings, kills off a couple of workers. Oh, actually, killed off a pretty decent number of workers. 11 workers killed.
Yep.
But also delayed the adept pressure.
Yeah, and now it's trying to commence, but by now Bly has gotten the Roach War, and he's got a layer 2 to start the Roach speed soon enough, and he is prepared for the first step. Now, this adept count can really grow quite quickly, so you can't just, depend on a certain number of roaches. You have to be on guard. The adepts actually don't bother with the War Prism. They go into the third base instead. There's not a lot of drones to kill. Whatever drones there are, they're going to get them.
Yeah, not a lot to stop them from killing those drones either, though. Well, Roaches going to be greeting these adepts. Are they paying attention? Whoa! Oh, good pickup over there from the Warp Prism.
Just quick. Behind this, we have Blink and Immortals coming in here, still on 2 bases, and Bly is well aware of this. Third scouted on both locations, and he just has to make sure that he has enough production. He's on 52 drones, which is a pretty perfect time to cut and be either defensive or, if it's another type of game, aggressive. But he certainly has enough economy to utilize all 3 hatcheries worth of larva injects. He saved the queens, too, just barely. Dang.
Oh, well done over there. As I love also the usage of these overlords and pooping out the creep and saying, I don't have the creep tubers there just yet, but let me at least make it a little bit easier for these queens to navigate between the natural expansion and the third expansion. The War Prism also got very, very low in health, which is going to make it a bit difficult to make any kind of follow-up pushes work, because oftentimes War Prism is the #1 target as they are trying to warp in units close to the battle. So we'll see where Probe ends up positioning that War Prism, because he's going for Blink. Blink is finished up, and I think that the follow-up push may be coming out soon.
Yeah. Maybe clear at the third just in case he wants to take a third behind it. Nope, not even bothering. So Bly is making a little bit of a risk here. Actually, I think a fairly large risk. We'll see what it looks like. We're going for the Spire that is taking away from your Roach counts. Was supply blocked so recently, but now has the opportunity to use everything he has in those Roaches. Actually gas-starved a little bit here. Does he have enough? The Spire won't even be very useful, even if it does finish. It's going to be like a 1 muta.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a weird situation with that. I think especially since that Spire was thrown down maybe before he realized there was going to be a Blink follow-up, and maybe he was anticipating, oh, well, my opponent's going for so many Adepts, and he didn't really open Stargate. This is a really great way to punish him if he continues with his second Adept attack, but, well, here we go. A couple of decent forces going down. Corrosive Biles could go down on a lot of his army, though. Oh my god, goodbye Sentries, goodbye Mothership Corps.
Damn, that was a good Corsair Biles. The Awkward Immortal, too, running into the back of that army, but at the end of the day, the Blink Stalkers are still alive. The War Prism... Okay, that died. The Stalkers are still alive.
Yeah, with the War Prism taken out, where is the power behind this push for Probe? Sure, Blink Stalkers are great, but you know what's great? An economy to outpower the Blink Stalkers. Well, here we go. Roaches given the hug of death on these Adepts. Adepts a little bit more willing to have it than the Stalkers. But the Roaches are gung-ho about getting those Stalkers the hug of death.
Yeah.
Ravagers, not even really needing to throw down any Corrosive Biles at this point. I feel like they can just continue to charge across.
It looks like this might just be a 3-1 for Bly. Probe's going to try his best to recover from this, but his main base almost mined out. His natural's not looking so healthy either, whereas Bly, of course, still has that third base that wasn't even really saturated. So, you can saturate it now. A couple of Sport Crawlers going down, maybe in case of DT follow-up, but also to perhaps catch a Warp Prism trying to sneak attack, back attack.
Which may be exactly what he ends up seeing, but Spire is also available as a form of tech that he can just follow us up with, so... If we end up seeing Probe maybe lose a couple too many Stalkers, go into Adepts or something, then that is going to be one great way to deal with it. And of course, even just making 1 or 2 Mutalisks to pick away at the Warp Prism, that isn't necessarily the worst idea in the world.
Bly being very thorough with this game too. I mean, the Spire was a bit of a risk, and it's not really paid for itself either, but hey, he survived, so no big deal. But I'm also talking about this Ling here that's scouting every single base. Scouting for proxies, hidden bases, anything really, and that's pretty cool to see. He really wants to clinch this at 3-1, not go to that ace match.
Yep, Overlord drops in a couple more Zerglings.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
but
go.
you guys forgot about that Overlord, didn't you? Well, Bly sure didn't, and he's gonna be able to potentially catch an Immortal. Nope, ends up having to back off as double photon overcharge forced out, but hey, that's just less energy that Mothership Core has when the big Roach attack comes.
Oh, that
Here
Warp
come
is
the
getting
Mutas.
cornered. Yeah, and the Mutas are out now too. Is that game for Probe? He's gonna try one last attack. His third base is about 3/4 of the way done, but now he has to deal with Mutas, you know, adding an attack to the left and Roaches to the right, and he's just gonna go all in with these Stalkers.
All in is pretty much the best way you can describe it. He has to do game-winning damage over here to try to equalize the fact that, well, he doesn't look like he's looking too strong of a position. And I love this. Just delay and buy a little bit more time. Guess what? The rocks are there. You gotta knock those down if you want to bring your Immortals with you.
The Mutas are basically just being cleaned up here. There weren't a lot of Mutas, but it's more about this army fight here. The Roaches are cleaning everything up. Oh, there's even more Roaches back here too, so that's definitely going to be a win for Bly.
Yeah, the Ravagers also in fairly high number, and here we go. Target firing down the Immortals after the shields are gone. GG gets called. Acer's Bly advancing on to the round of 8 of DreamHack. Leipzig.